Good morning, people. It is Wednesday, the 28th of June, 2023. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform, the home of popular culture as decided by you, the culture. And as always, hosted by the best in the business. Please introduce yourself.
They call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
All right, then. And I am Big Marks from the east side of the bridge, 6 foot plus of pure temptation, pum pum father, all of that good stuff. Today, we have a very, very special show. I'm making an announcement today. It's very special. It might be the fastest in TDA history. Strap in, people. It's going to be a ride. Everybody all right?
Yep.
All right, let's get into our question of the day.
Wait, before you go, can you see the thing in the corner of this guy's screen? I think it's the...
I can. It's... Do you think it's...
No, it's the mic.
I think, yeah, the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Yeah, so, all right, cool. So, let's get into our question of the day, people. While you're here, make sure you like on arrival, yeah? All of that stuff. Come on. What's your favourite conspiracy theory? There we go.
I wish I knew this question before, you know. I can only kind of do the ones that first come to mind, innit? Rather than my favourite. The JFK one.
Okay.
What's that?
Oh, all right, so...
John Wayne Bobbitt? No, sorry, that's someone else.
John Wheel Bullock.
No, I said John Wayne Bobbitt. That's the guy
Okay.
who got his thing chopped off.
It's with Lee Harvey
Lee
Oswald.
Harvey Oswald. I knew it was three things.
So basically he got assassinated. When was it? Like 63 or something, 64? And basically like there's so many different ideas about who actually shot him. Was it somebody in the actual car with him? Was it somebody kind of on the grassy knoll bit? Was it Lee Harvey Oswald over there where they're saying? Because basically the way the bullet kind of ricocheted and hit certain parts of his internals, right, doesn't really add up to the story. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically why there's so much.
Why did they do that? Because he was because he was with the civil rights movement.
Some people say that. Some people say it was a mafia situation.
Okay.
Yeah, because obviously, like his dad had ties to the mafia in some capacity, and so I think they wanted him to do something, and he wasn't really for it or something like that. Maybe there was some promises made prior to him actually getting into office, and so people were like, "Nah, we have to kind of get him out of there." But yeah, some people also believe about him kind of sympathizing with the civil rights and that, and then you know what I mean, changing and all type of stuff. But yeah,
Okay.
that's one of them.
What would mine be? My favorite conspiracy theory would probably be Tupac still being alive.
All right.
That one's funny. That people do that because I think it held a bit more weight, maybe like a decade or two ago.
Yeah,
you get me?
true.
Like I think like it's running out of steam.
Yeah.
It's running out of steam now because it's not as prominent as it used to be.
Yeah.
Because that was a thing, you know. It was like it was serious.
100%.
It was going for a while.
Yep.
But yeah, they've lost the vim. They've lost the vim for that one a little bit now, don't you think?
Yeah, 100%. Like even the lookalikes that every now and again you see, they don't really look.
They're not
like
even
him.
looking like him.
Yeah, man. He's meant to age as well, isn't it? Like,
Is the Bermuda Triangle a conspiracy theory? Is that a real thing? Is that like was a myth or something? What is that classed as?
I don't know, because people fly over there, though, innit?
Some of them fly out and never come back.
But
You know what I'm saying?
that's true. I don't know too much about it, but I've always thought that there's a certain area that if you fly, you're definitely not coming back. So the fact that I'm hearing people do go every now and again, then it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know. What about Atlantis and that?
Do you reckon it was there?
Nah, man. I don't think so. I feel like there's just no evidence.
Are they saying that was that's an underwater city, right?
Yeah.
Was it always underwater, or did it get submerged?
I'm not too sure.
No, it they didn't say it's an underwater city. It got submerged and then it's
And then,
Then
innit?
it
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The Atlantis. That's the people who's got them different wild fairies, isn't it,
I don't know. No, I don't know too much about it.
bro? What's it called? I ain't gone down that rabbit hole. I can't be bothered because it's crazy. But there's, yeah, I'll look for it for you so we can talk about that wild stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about, Brent?
world stuff.
There's these people who believe how the world began and stuff and different stuff. I think they're the ones who actually. I need to go and
Are
check
you
what
talking
it's tied
about?
to.
Is it linked to like the Anunnaki and stuff?
What's that?
So like people that came from an outer world, and then obviously they've kind of met these hominids on Earth, and tweaked their genetics, right, to kind of what's the word, like dig for gold and stuff that they needed to get back to where they're from, and we are them basically. So we're basically experiments. You know what I'm saying?
It could be. It could be.
Because a lot of these people believe, like when you look in like all the ancient tablets, ancient scriptures from Sumeria and them type of places, there's always this talk about these people that come from, you know what I'm saying? Like Anunnaki, I think it means something like from the heavens we came, right? So those people who came from outer space, they needed certain things done here on Earth, innit? And obviously they met like these other hominids and they've kind of tweaked with their DNA and we're them. We're the offspring.
Somebody would have had to have came and gave us technology.
This is it. They're saying it's them.
Because you can't just jump from zero to where we got now. Something would have had to come to bridge the gap. Like some of them experiments, some of them things, some of them breakthroughs in life. I don't think they could, like, because if you don't know what you don't know, how could you can't just wake up one day and go there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, the stuff's too intricate. You can't just wake up one day and go there. Like, you can't, that doesn't make sense. Something like a bridge would have had to have been gapped, basically, or a gap would have to have been bridged, sorry. Somewhere.
But then that may depend on what you believe. Sorry, on how long you believe the Earth has been around, how long you believe humans have been around. Because if you kind of believe, like, you know, the biblical narrative, like we've only been around for 6,000 years, that type of stuff, then it's like, okay, cool, something had to have happened. Because how do we kind of, especially if you kind of mix that with evolution as well, how do we get from being on all fours to building pyramids? You know what I mean? But if you believe we've been there for thousands and thousands of years, then you kind of see the intelligence kind of build up in it. But at the same time, if you kind of link, I guess, the pyramid stuff with Atlantis stuff, then it's like, maybe like we have been here for so long and maybe we forgot. I don't know, man. Because like someone, I can't remember this person's name. But basically some of these historical people like Amun-Ra and Amun and some of these other Asian people, right? They believe these people are actually real, like kings and stuff of different various kingdoms. You know what I'm saying? And they existed at certain periods in time. Like, you know, like the Sphinx as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't believe that actually was made during the same time as the pyramids. You know what I'm saying? Like they obviously believe that, wait, it must have been because human beings have only been here 6,000 to 10,000 years, like in like this form, innit? But this one guy, I think his name was like Robert Schoch or something like this, right? He looks at like the weathering of stones and stuff. And he's like, wait, when I look at the stones, like it looks like these stones have like been hit by rain and they weathered for like 15 to like 50,000 years ago. That means this has been there for that long. Human beings were here creating this type of stuff 50,000 years ago. So what's going on there? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff out there, man.
Well, the truth is out there, man. You just got to find it. One day we're gonna have a proper conspiracy theory topic of the day because like I saw the twinkle in your eye.
Y'all not ready for me.
I was about to say, before I moved on, I literally looked over there and thought, oh wait there,
Exactly, Brent.
That day is gonna be glorious, me.
All right, but just quickly, just briefly.
Quickly. What's my favorite? Probably the whole what's just beyond the ice caps. You know, them ones there. Why there's a no-fly zone over there.
But are you sure though? Because that speaks to a lot of A lot of flat earthers go there.
That's true, you know,
A
bro.
lot of flat earthers go there.
Sorry, what are you saying? They go there to what, to die?
No,
as
they
in-
use that
yeah,
as their
so-
rhetoric to support flat Earth.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I was just saying. I was just checking.
No, I hear you, but I'm not sure understanding like how that. What's that?
As in,
What does that mean to what I said? What's that?
I'm saying, are you? So you also into the flat Earth thing, right?
No, what?
And that's what I mean.
No, stop.
Sorry, go ahead.
Stop. There's too much going in my head. Listen. The fact that they've blocked off that particular area, right? Bear in mind, China could block off certain parts of the sea because they own it, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that the Earth is flat because China's blocked off a part where
No,
they believe
facts
they own.
don't. I'm not saying
so
that.
the fact that they blocked it off there and nobody can fly there, I want to see why nobody can fly there.
That's true,
In my
though.
head, their base is there. That doesn't mean that because I think their base is there, it must be flat.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That's why I was confused. Like,
Okay, so yeah,
was
yeah,
that in response to what I said?
No, I was just checking.
no, do you know, it's only because a lot of the flat earthers use that to then say the Earth is flat because in those particular places.
Oh, you're going to see a big wall.
This is it. There's
Or
all
whatever.
that type
So
of
they
stuff.
don't
yeah,
know that.
exactly.
That crap. Because I'm not even gonna lie. Them no fly zones are interesting. Yeah. Because obviously they can shoot at you, but there's like all them like the article in places. The no cell zones are like funny to me because if you go there, what are they gonna do?
Or they'll kill you.
What, they're just gonna converge on you on boats and stuff. Like the second
Yes.
you pass this imaginary line in the water,
Yes.
boats are just gonna come
Yes.
from nowhere and just converge on
Yes,
you.
yes.
And can I ask this as well, right? Whose boats?
I think it's the world order's boats. I don't think it's just one. Or if it's
Okay.
just one, it's America. It's America. But in my head,
In any direction?
to be honest, in my head, it would be a conglomerate of countries because China is not just going to say, okay, you can have it and not go and explore. You understand? So they would have come up with some sort of agreement. And I think it trumps just the regular faces of who's in power in the nation at the time. Do you understand? So, like presidents, I don't even know if it is that they're kind of sworn in with what's happening over there. There's certain levels of government that control everything that are part of the new world order.
That's probably your favorite conspiracy thing then, because I don't
What
front face.
What them and they?
Yeah, the front facing presidents don't run the countries.
Nah, they don't.
Innit?
'Cause
People at the front of
they're
the
not constant.
podiums don't run the countries.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
But I do believe that some of them, in the establishing of these particular organizations, these secret organizations, they would have been read in. But after that, when it is they're seeing, nah, some of you I can't even trust, they're not read into certain high level details. Like institutions like BlackRock, I think they know a lot. Like a lot. They might even be behind a lot of this stuff, man.
Them man, they're like Olivia Pope's dad.
He would definitely be read in. That was such a fantastic character.
He was cold, innit?
Oh my goodness, fantastic! I really feared him.
Yeah.
He played it well.
Olivia fed him as well. She had to. Made sense.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. That was
Oh,
good.
I was going to ask you, because Official Soprano said simulation, that we're living in a simulation. Have you heard about that theory?
What, that we're actually plugged into the Matrix now? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but when did they
That
get
this
me?
is fake.
When did they get me though?
No, they got everybody. Like there's like our beginning is somebody created that beginning.
So right now I'm laying down in a tube plugged in right now.
Not necessarily that you're
Wake
plugged
up!
in somewhere else. But picture it more so like I don't know too much about the theory, by the way, but picture it more so like someone's created an AI version of you and me and Brent and all that, right? And they've just let us go. And everything that we're doing is just we're created. None of this is real.
Yeah, that sounds fun, but
No, there's people out there with proper theories, lectures about how,
we're stuck in the Matrix.
but it's more than being stuck. There's no real Marg somewhere. You're just fake. Like, this is fake. This is fake. Everything's fake. I'm fake.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Don't know about that one. But that was fun. Again, one day we'll pick a day when everybody's in there and we can, yeah, we could do that. All right, that's cool then. Let's get into our headlines, man.
Let's do it. Yeah, for real.
That's basic though.
Yeah, that's basic. That's level one.
Level one.
All right, so our first headline: Matt Hancock is back in the news, man. So the ex-health secretary, Matt Hancock, has criticised the UK's pandemic planning before COVID hit, saying it was completely wrong. He told the COVID inquiry that planning was focused on the provision of body bags and how to bury the dead rather than stopping the virus taking hold. He said he was profoundly sorry for each death. After giving evidence, he approached some of the bereaved families, but they turned their backs on him as he left. The former health secretary, who answered questions from the inquiry on Tuesday, said he understood his apology might be difficult for families to accept, even though it was an honest and heartfelt apology. He added it was a colossal failure to assume the virus spreading could not be stopped. Under questioning from Hugo Keith, KC, the lead counsel to the COVID inquiry, Mr. Hancock stressed that the attitude, the doctrine of the UK, was to plan for the consequences of a disaster. He said the government was focused on different questions, such as, can we buy enough body bags? And where are we going to bury the dead? That was completely wrong, he added. Mr. Keith asked Mr. Hancock why, if he was so critical of the UK's approach to the pandemic planning, it was not changed while he was the health secretary. And he answered, the only answer I can give is because I was assured that we had the best system in place in the world. In hindsight, I wish I spent a short period of time before the pandemic changing the entire attitude to how we responded to a pandemic. And the next headline is kind of linked to the third headline, and this is about Yevgeny Prigozhin. So the leader of Russia's 24-hour mutiny, Mr. Prigozhin, has arrived in Belarus 3 days after his Wagner mercenary group's rebellion came to an end, 200 kilometers south of Moscow. So basically, he was speaking to them, and he said, yes, indeed, he's in Belarus. So he was claiming, this was Lukashenko, who's the leader of Belarus. He was saying, yes, indeed, he's in Belarus today, and he was claiming credit for arranging his exile. Prigozhin's whereabouts has been a mystery since he was filmed driving off in southern Russia on Saturday night. His private jet was tracked flying into the Belarus capital Minsk on Tuesday. Mr. Lukashenko said that Wagner mercenaries had been offered an abandoned military base if they wanted to join their leader. He said, there is a fence, everything's available, erect your tents. Under the deal that brought an end to the mutiny, Prigozhin has been promised guaranteed security, and the Russian criminal case against Wagner has been dropped. Moscow is preparing to transfer the mercenaries' heavy weapons into the regular military, and the fighters have been told that they can either sign regular army contracts, they can go home, or they can head to Belarus. And like I said, the last headline is linked to that. And basically, remember the other day we were talking about how a lot of Wagner's groups, the Wagner army, is in Africa as well, right? So the failed weekend mutiny in Russia by the Wagner mercenary group is likely to have repercussions for Africa, where it has several thousand fighters based, as well as lucrative business interests. It's unclear whether Prigozhin, who has been told to relocate to Belarus, who's now in Belarus, like we just said, will still run his private army from there to allow it to service its security contracts to places like the Central African Republic and Mali. On Monday, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov assured the Central African Republic and Mali of the status quo in terms of their crucial security arrangements. And that's it for the headlines.
All right, then let's get into what you say in topic of the day.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day, it probably will be a short one, but let's see what you think about this. Right. The question is: have you ever, even for 1 second, right, wished you were part of another race?
No. Now let's get into headlines. No, but I think that's a stupid question. Not a stupid question, but it's definitely going to be. I don't even know how we're going to
Stretch this out.
Yeah.
stretch it out. Like I don't know how we're going to expand on this.
Watch him on your work.
Watch him. That's like, watch me go. The answer would be no. In all seriousness, I've never looked at any race enviously enough to think I would want to do that. If I want to be funny, not even funny, but if I think when I think about it, yeah, when I was young, yeah, I was fascinated by martial arts movies. And I'm just letting you know the truth. And I just always wondered if I was born somewhere else, whether I would have the technique and the skills needed to thrive in that terrain. You know what I'm trying to say? It's crossed my mind.
Oh, wow.
I said, why ya? That's the most I can think of.
That's good enough.
Oh no, man. What about you? Nothing there?
Do you know what it is, yeah? I don't think I've ever thought, I wish I was this, that, and the third, right? But I think it's more so, okay, if I wasn't black, yeah, would I be able to do this? If that makes sense. So I could be everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, swimming, right? Again, this sounds stupid, innit? But obviously, I'm a crap swimmer, right? And I thought to myself, okay, you know what? This stereotype about black people can't swim. To be fair, Brent and Steven, they can swim, innit? You can swim quite well, innit, Brent?
Yeah.
Island boy, though. Island boy.
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
You know what I mean?
Nope. Our parents took us to swimming lessons and whatnot.
Okay.
So they cared about us in that sense.
My primary school took us to swimming lessons.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't thrive in the class. And yeah, funny enough, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, because obviously, me and Stephen were in the same year, innit? So Stephen, I'm pretty sure we was in, like, the other end of the pool, innit?
Yeah.
With the people who can actually swim. And everybody else was just there splashing and stuff, innit? But, like, I did my 25 meters, yeah. That was, but no horns?
No homes?
No horns?
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's one lap, you know what I'm saying? To be fair, I cheated in that, yeah. They didn't see when I was kind of going on the thingy, and I grabbed onto the side of the thingy. And
Resourcefulness, man.
Yeah, I tried my best, man. But yeah, man, I thought to myself, okay, cool. Maybe it is a black thing, and we're just not good at this. You know what I'm saying? See, I didn't think, I didn't want to be white or any other race that can swim. I just thought, what if I wasn't this? Could I swim? If that makes sense.
Hey.
Okay. In terms of, again, this may sound...
What about you, Brent?
Have I ever wondered about another demographic's life and how it would be? I think in primary school, when 100% this is probably just unique to my family, as opposed to black culture. Daddy used to wake up every single day and make packed lunches. And it's for 5 children, right? Religiously. And he would iron our clothes and whatnot, right, for school and whatnot, right? So in our packed lunch, we had essentials only, right? You had brown bread, butter and cheese.
Okay.
Just cheese, right? You had an apple and you had juice. But the juice would be in a bottle that we would have to basically reuse, wash out and whatnot, and then pour it. And on the weekends where mummy made sweet bread.
1 second, just quickly. So that's it. Juice, apple, and brown bread and cheese.
On you will cost me this now. What? Let me finish it.
All right, go on.
On the weekends where mummy made sweet bread on Saturday, and by a miracle there was still sweet bread left on Monday, we would have a slice of that for Monday, right? Now I'm going to school now. It's Hackney, Baden Powell, and I'm looking around and I'm seeing the white children, the Greek children, even some black children. And they have
Dairy,
they got everything. They got Lunchables.
Dairy Dunkers,
They got two
Petit
two packs of crisps,
Faloo.
two of those juice boxes. They got everything. And the thing is, they were moving as though
It was normal.
yeah,
It was light
they were
work.
giving out on all sorts. At that moment, I wanted to be white. I wanted to be white. But that was it. Other than that, that was it.
It's so dumb.
No, them packed lunch people, yeah, they did make it seem appealing though, you know.
Oh,
I remember one time I tried it, you know, for a week.
pack lunch?
Yeah, in primary school. That was it though. It was only for a week.
Was it secondary school where you used to have the shitto sandwiches?
Yeah.
All right, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That was wavy, man.
It was a good time.
When the times when it is, I was asking you to bring more.
Yes.
Because they were lovely, man.
Yeah, man. Big up Shito. I had it for ages. Yeah. But all right, yeah. What in terms? Obviously, we're obviously going to go into some stereotypes and whatnot. Yeah, more stereotypes. Yeah, but certain groups out there are kind of known to be, or at least thought to be, like, you know, frugal or whatever. Very good when it comes to business, right? Good at organizing themselves, right? Do you feel? Obviously, none of us wish to be them, innit? But do you feel like there's certain things that we can definitely take from them? So much so that it kind of changes, I guess, what we are. And then, yeah, we improve ourselves.
Oh. Yeah, I suppose in that sense. In that sense, yeah, definitely. Because we've got too many examples of other races that came in to just use London and set up their communities with a better infrastructure than our communities have got. So I think from that standpoint, anybody that would want better for themselves, it's easy to look at certain places. Like I know in East London, where I am and all that, in the Asian communities, their properties and stuff, what they're doing is lit. You get me? They own a lot of properties and that. I know they can put their people up, put them in yards and thing and rest of the time. When they're buying real estate shop fronts and stuff like that, they monopolize the streets and that. You know what I'm trying to say? I was reasoning with the man who owns my shop the other day. There's some shops come up some space down a couple of rows down. And he's saying, yeah, I think I'm going to take it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think I should take it. What do you think we need right there? Where he's doing all that kind of stuff. You get me? And I don't see many, or not even many. I don't know. I don't have any real examples of that in the black community. I don't really see it. I don't know where to go. I don't know what roles to go to, and it's all owned. The shops are just all owned by black people. Or the one man owns the dry cleaners and the thing and the, you know what I'm saying? That kind of setup. So, because I see the examples of it working and looking good, I could want that for ourselves.
100%. Do you feel, this is slightly different, yeah, but it just made me think of like professions because certain things you were saying, yeah. Do you feel like are there any professions, yeah, that you thought to yourself, this is kind of like a meaty profession back in the day, but if you was doing that today, this would be something that is like makes sense?
Like skilled worker stuff.
Okay.
Because for coming from where I'm coming from, seeing man do all that, like being on the tools and that, looked like an idiot thing to man. You know what I'm saying? That looks like thoughtfulness. All them skilled workers now, with the mindset I've got now, I know that they're lit. You know what I'm trying to say? Like if you're a plumber, electrician, gas man, like you know what I'm trying to say? Like that's lit. That's up and stuck. Like that's dope. You can go and earn for yourself anywhere in the world. You'd be self-sufficient, self-employed. No one can't tell you nothing. You get me? I used to think that shit was all meaty.
Yeah, that's exactly one example that I was thinking as well. A plumber. What about a barber?
I mean, I don't necessarily, because they're so necessary, I've never looked at it like a meaty job, because it's just a hairdresser, if that makes sense. It's always quite skilled. And the kind of money that people are charging for trims nowadays, so that's a lucrative business.
That's crazy.
Man's always needed a barber like that. So I've never really like turned my nose up at barbers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They've just always been there. That's part of the
Yeah, true.
you get me? There was always a man growing up that could cut hair. You know what I'm trying to say? Like your older brother's brethren or something, and yeah, they'll come around, he could trim in and thing. But that game has changed though. Like them man are doing bookings and £50 a trim and
£50.
foolishness.
I remember the first
Obviously,
time.
I don't have these issues because I just be trimming myself. You know what I'm saying? I made a choice. I made a stand. I made a choice to take a stand.
Do you use the you know that thing? It's like you kind of grab it like this
With the hand thing,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
rub it
yeah.
around your head
Yeah,
and all that.
yeah.
Nah, they keep trying to. There's a company that keep trying to DM me, ask me if I want to promote it and thing. I just ignore them as well, you idiots. Yeah, fuck out of here, man. Just ignore their DMs all the time. You get me? I think one time they might have offered me money, but I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh man, I remember the first time I heard trims were going for £25. I lost my mind. £25.
But it's 20 now.
No, it's 20. I would have to, even if I wanted to go and if I wanted to shake my face up, it's £20.
Not for me.
Where you go? You could go to the Albanian man or something.
No, it's a black guy in Ilford.
What, and your trim is 20?
Yeah.
What about what hair and face? That would score.
Yeah, mine's 15.
Yeah, you get trimmed in a time chamber. Time just stops where you are.
But that's you're still a regular barber, no, right? Am I know? Since forever.
Not since forever. Since like
he's
maybe,
changed?
since like maybe what 4 or 5 years now.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
But is it in Hackney still?
Yeah.
Okay. So what? The other guy died?
No, do you know what it is? Back in the day. What happened to him? I can't remember why it even happened to him. You know. I think it kind of broke up a bit when I went to Ghana.
Yeah.
Came back, went back to him for a bit. Something happened. I think I moved, so it became easier to just find somebody else. Then I was doing in Leighton, and then from there I went back to Hackney, and yeah, man, that's what happened. But yeah, £25, and obviously the whole bookings thing as well. Like obviously back in the day, you're not thinking about bookings. Just walk up in there. Obviously you might have to wait an hour, 2 hours, but it's just part of life, isn't it? So okay. What about what do you call it? Ben, have you ever thought of a particular job that you thought back in the day was something you didn't want to ever entertain, but nowadays you think, you know what, this is essential. And if I was actually doing this, I could actually be like you know what I'm saying, bringing in 6 figures.
A job that I didn't rate back in the day, but I would consider now.
Yeah.
What was? Can you remember that guy that used to? His name was Mervin. They used to cut our hair.
That used to play football.
I don't even know if he played football. You know, I think he came a couple of times, but
Yeah, I think I know.
he was young and he was.
Yeah.
He always used to come over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he did, but I was like, I hope I never get like him. At that age. I don't know what the hell he did. No, I don't think I had a particular job that I didn't rate, and now I rated because it earns P. I don't know.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the time, all them type of jobs, like, you know, like Mark was saying, like the tools, plumber, electrician, all them type of things. And none of these things you learn in school as well. Do you feel like there's a reason for that though? Or do you feel like that's maybe school kind of is meant to lead you to something else?
To be honest, you know that handyman profile?
Yeah.
And he's West Indian and he does plumbing, he does gardening, he does little bits and bobs. I used to thought that it's just dust about, and because they came late, and how do you even earn money like that? You can't be getting paid.
They're
I'm
rinsing.
realizing, yeah. And they can cut clean if it is that they actually set up a nice little infrastructure where they've got people working for them and whatnot. But still they decide to turn up late and move mad. It's ridiculous to me. But if I fell off of this desire to be in this particular creative space I would definitely use my hands, and I would kind of set it up like it's more professional as I've seen all the mistakes being done. I can easily have a group of men going from just house to house to house to house. I'll be double booked, triple booked, and making sure I polish up quickly to go ahead. These people don't do that kind of crap. Like they don't want money. Crazy, absolutely crazy. And I wouldn't just hire like one type of demographic. I'd hire all of the dope ones. They might be Polish, might be Chinese.
Chinese.
Yeah.
I feel like them Chinese people work for like mad cheap though, man.
Yeah.
Is that a problem?
No. I was just thinking about it, like in terms of, because obviously a lot of them are hired by their own, innit? So it's almost like they brought them from China, let them live with them, so
That's
they
what
don't have to
happens.
worry. Yeah.
Remember when Ling was doing my front room, painting it in that, yeah? And he was the main one, and then he goes to the other, so he's the one that man communicate with, but he's got his own squad. The rest of them can't even speak English, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yep.
so you will deal with him, and he goes and he patterns up the rest of them. He will take his squad and do what he's doing, you get me?
Just come in, do the stuff, and then go. But yeah, I really, really rate like plumbers and stuff now. Like really rate them.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of stuff that I've gone to YouTube to find out how to do. I'm like, all right, y'all shouldn't be moving so wicked. I know it's half the time it's out of convenience that people basically hire these handymen and whatnot, but they could clean up if it is that they clean up the act. They could clean up.
Brings on to the Cowboys.
Even the flipping barbers, man. They could clean up.
But then, okay, watch this, yeah. So picture your barber right now. How would you improve his...
One, get some form of scheduling system that everybody could access and see what is available, what isn't. Keep to the effing time. If it is you know that you go to prayers for at this particular time and you might need, then budget for that, account for that. Do you understand? Give yourself some breathing space, but don't come through. Yeah, you can talk, but talk within the allotted time. Do you understand? If it is that you know full well that this particular day or evening is going to be a bit stressful, again, account for that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, it's Pascal again.
What to do? How are you? What are your thoughts?
I was thinking that obviously I remember there was like one comment like years ago I heard from like Childish Gambino.
Yes.
And he was basically saying that I wish that I was, basically, I think his comment was like, I wish I was big and white. And I think like he was basically hinting at like when you're you kind of experience it every day. Again, not only from like white people and other races and stuff like that, but from black people themselves. So yeah, it's not that like obviously you don't really want to be another race because that comes with anyway. But there's certain expectations that you get from being black. But can I say one thing though? I watch Asian brothers choose if they're going to be black or white every day. I watch it every day, whether they're going to align with black culture or white culture every day. I don't think when it comes to at least black people, we kind of align ourselves with different races. But I see other cultures do that all the time.
When you say you see them be black and white every day, yeah. Can you elaborate? Like, what type of example?
Sorry to even cut you, yeah, but like, because I think I might kind of get what he means, yeah. But you don't see them switch between the two, though, do you?
I think me personally, in some ways, you do. When it comes into like secondary school, they listen to black music, their clothing's black, all of this. But once you get into like, from my experience anyway, when you get into like university and stuff like that, you kind of see some of the values and kind of what they associate themselves with. Kind of again, maybe it's them becoming more. They become a lot more insulated. Like you used to see them again. The experience will be like lunch times, break times, and then you can't. When it gets to uni, they become a little bit more insulated, and they don't really engage too much in black culture as much as before.
Okay.
I
don't know. Like I said,
I'm not too sure how.
Being from East London, I could see Asian youths that align with, say, I don't know, like a white demographic and carry themselves a certain way. And I can see Asian youths that you could tell fuck with the black demographic. You know what I'm trying to say? From the way they talk, the way they dress, just everything, innit? But what I'm saying is, I don't see that. I feel like it's like drawing a line in the sand. I feel like once they make their choice, that's them kind of thing. I don't see many flip flopping between the two. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. That's just in my experience, though.
Yeah, I can understand that, but and maybe it's just regards to like my experiences. What I kind of experienced was that again, I just felt again, it's not that they've completely gone white, but it's almost like there's they again, maybe they didn't have as much I feel like when it comes to like representation of culture, I don't feel like they've really like I'm trying to I said to my friend once, like when you see like a black person, you kind of got a good understanding of what they're into, because we've created somewhat of black culture within this country. When it comes to an Asian person, like you said, there is that line drawn in the sand, but it's almost like what I've noticed. Sometimes you might see an Asian brother and he's got really, really religious, and he's maybe kind of gone into his religion, Islam, his faith, but he's almost reverted back to some of the things and traditions that his parents and his kind of accepted. When it comes to black people, we don't do that. There's no like he was consistent throughout. We don't really just drop some of the things that we had up until we had all some of the traditions or beliefs or things that we were into up until secondary school, and then suddenly you say, I've changed my life. I'm gonna disavow myself from all these things that I've been kind of doing up until this point. And for me personally, if you're gonna ask about people that seem to dibble and dabble into race, I don't know. I don't think black people. I don't know. I don't think black people are number one for that. I think there's other races that kind of dibble and dabble more than us.
Do you feel like Pascal? Yeah. Do you feel like we'll be better off if we actually did the thing you're saying that Asian people do? Because to me, right, some of the differences I believe is, I guess, some of the things that they kind of copy from black culture. I'm assuming you're saying is some of the negative things. Is that kind of the case? But then when they get to a certain age, okay. So when they get to a certain age, it's kind of like, okay, let me be serious now. Let me actually identify as an Asian man that I am, and then get married and you know what I mean, like live a normal life. But us, we don't have another race or culture that we can kind of emulate or kind of, copy or be for a certain time in our life, and then kind of revert back to being black. If that makes sense.
I think so this is where I think a lot of our culture, I think a lot of British culture, I think a lot of British culture, sorry, let me elaborate, Boggs, let me elaborate. I think a lot of black British culture, again, comes from us emulating African American culture in terms of just, if you're talking about influence of hip hop in terms of the way we dress, the type of music we've kind of introduced ourselves into. But if you, again, first generation immigrants, if you look at our parents and the standards that they were somewhat present with, I don't think a lot of it's foreign to us in terms of expectations of respect, expectations of how we should act in public. I don't think that's really that foreign to us. And I think because we've had to somewhat create a culture, the race politics over here is mad. So you kind of have to create a culture because you're always going to be somewhat excluded from the dominating society. We've basically just adapted American culture and the negative aspects of that. But I think personally, we've got a culture of ourselves that we haven't really, and maybe that's what you're kind of talking about, that we haven't really embraced as much.
I hear you. You know what it is? I think you touched on a few points here that I think we can make a topic of the day out of, right? But yeah. So I think I'm gonna explore that again because the whole thing about culture and how we kind of other cultures have something from us that they can copy, but we don't necessarily have something from theirs that we can copy.
Or that we want to copy.
That we want to copy. That's true. It is interesting, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank you very much for calling Pascal, man. Thank you for your contribution,
Pascal. Later.
Can I just address one thing quickly?
Yeah.
Of course.
A lot of the comments that when I last called in regards to like praising, a lot of people said that maybe I didn't stay on topic, but I felt like at least what I did was present some of the things that, again, I'm not gonna just, when you're talking about praising black women, I don't know what they generally thought was gonna happen regards to, maybe praising like black features and stuff like that. I thought it was more important to focus on some of the achievements or the recent achievements they've made so far regards to, again, workplace, promoting diversity. And I'm going to only promote the stuff that I see as beneficial.
Don't let them trigger you. You done the right thing. At least you called up and got involved. You get what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
You done the right thing. You was representing, man.
Exactly. You were saying positives about it. Yeah. But yeah, man. Thank you very much, Pascal, man. Appreciate it.
I know.
Yes.
So yes. All right. So obviously
on the call.
Say again?
Someone else is on the call.
Okay.
We're gonna have a call, yeah?
Yeah. Let me just connect it. Are we connecting? Hello, good morning.
You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, yo, what's up? This is Ed.
Good morning, Ed. What are your thoughts?
Hello, what's good, man? I was just hearing some of what Pascal was saying and it just made me, I'll make it quick and that. But it's just like, I think the whole thing of other races, jumping in and out of our culture, I think some of that is definitely intentional, like proper, like them trying to beg it and that. But at the same time, I think black culture has now become youth culture, innit? Like just in general. Like the same way, back in the day, freaking that, when the white boys was rocking Ed Hardy, Fred Perry, we jumped on that wave and we like the swag and that. It's the same way, now the kids are looking at what we did and not even looking at it from a perspective of black and white. They're just looking from a perspective of this is cool, isn't it? So they're jumping on what's cool, and obviously as they grow up, their influences change and whatnot because they're no longer around quote unquote youth culture anymore. But that's I think it's part of the whole why you see white people jumping back and forth, or Asian people jumping back and forth as well. Not just because not just from the pure race perspective, trying to imitate us and whatnot. I think they're just also trying to imitate cool. And then in terms of the whole, well, at least for me, the whole wanting to be white. I don't think I went for a wanting to be white first, but I think I went for like you wanted to look and dress like and be like all the sort of cool white celebrities. So like for me as a little kid, it was like wanting to be like David Beckham, and then but I knew I couldn't do the hair like him. I couldn't afford the clothes that he was rocking and stuff like that. So but it was like that was sort of the closest, at least for me, I can speak for. That was that sort of wanting to imitate those sort of white celebrity icons.
Okay, I hear that. Makes sense.
No, I was just saying that was a good call that made me think about certain things. I've experienced that kind of thing before, emulating other cultures' fashions before. I don't know where that comes from, and it probably is just. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know what it is, but I definitely can.
Which culture's fashion, sir?
Huh?
Which culture's fashion did you emulate?
It would just be like white people because I don't know I'm not gonna be wearing no other garbs, no garments. Forget me, but like them, like
Stan Smiths and them things.
it's like he's what he's talking about. Yeah, especially from being East London, close to North London, Islington, and all that, and them kind of things. Like the man they're wearing their Hackett tops and that, and them Ralph Lauren polo button ups and all that kind of shit. The rugby tops and all that kind of shit. That's what them white boys drip.
That's true.
You know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, we took it and patterned it out, but that's all the white boys drip.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay. Yeah, I was just picturing Carlton from. He probably copied like white.
Yeah.
Class
The
cut,
preppy thing and all that, innit?
Yeah.
I suppose it's just maybe it's just for like being I don't know, just being different or something. Just try. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what it's like. What it's about. Why you would even just a break from the norm as expression. Just I don't even know. What is it? What is it, Ed?
I think it's probably expressions, isn't it? Like that whole, you're trying to define who you are, but at the same time, you're copying everybody else, and you're also trying to fame everybody else.
Yeah.
So you're jumping on wherever everyone's popping, at the same time, trying to create your identity. It's a bit, yeah. The psychology of like being young is like, yeah, I feel like you could write a whole freaking essay on it. Like,
and that thingy look like that Shoreditch look. That alien look, that whole, you know what I'm trying to say, dirty Converse and red and that everybody's adopted them. Enough black people love that shit. Yeah. Like, that's white people shit to me. I'll be honest with you, that's their thing. Like, don't try it. Like, that's their thing. You get me? And that whole Shoreditch look, black people are on that. Not everyone. I'm not trying to tar people with the same brush, but I'm just saying though, like black people are on that Shoreditch look, that whole dirty clothes.
Beat up Air Forces.
So I suppose we all do it, kind of thing. But that's not wanting to be another race, though, is it?
No. Again, that's just fashion, innit? Like, I think the way the world is moving now, like, I feel like there's not as much. Like when you was young, it used to be like, yo, like we can't rock. Like someone, if you was looking to try and rock that thing, people looking at you mad. Yeah. And that sort of plays into your psyche, innit? Yeah. So you'd be like, yeah, I ain't gonna touch that because you're gonna look at me crazy. But now I feel like that sort of barrier has gone now, innit? With a lot of things where it's like, people will be like, yeah, the things is looking kind of fresh too.
That's true, though.
I'm to rock it.
Especially in the black community, you're allowed to express yourself more. Yeah. I went through a time where you couldn't even wear pink. Where wearing pink was a madness. Like, if you wear pink, that was brazy. I happen to know now from experience, pink looks amazing on me.
Hey, for real, bro. Hey, Cameron did a thing, bro. I wasn't brave enough to do it, so Cameron did it.
Yeah, big old Cameron and them, man. Get me? No. All right, Ed, man. Thanks for your call, man.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, that's not good. Peace.
Yeah, man. Makes sense. I guess, in that situation, though, before we wrap up, yeah.
Just imagine the day when we do the topic of the day and it's assimilation. The phone line's going to be popping.
I'm telling you. What was I going to say? Yeah, before we wrap up, yeah. That little part about us kind of taking people's fashion sense and things of that nature, yeah. Is that, or should that be considered cultural appropriation as well? Or is that different?
Well, that's borrowing people's fashions things. I don't know, because just borrowing it because you like the style. How are you appropriating it?
Because is it not the same as when when everyone's talking about
if you take it and make it, if you're taking it and trying to make it like it's yours, like when like the Kardashians movie, like they invented the braids and things.
Exactly.
Then yeah, I guess you can, because of this, you can throw appropriation there, definitely. But if you're just,
but you don't think that what we was doing is the same as what they was doing?
Well, taking their thing and making it act like it's ours.
Yeah.
I don't know. In some cases, maybe.
Okay. Anyway, I think that's it, man.
All right, man. That was a fun, light-hearted.
That is also going to be a contentious topic of the day. Do black people appropriate as much as
Mm-hmm.
we accuse white people of appropriating or other races of appropriating.
Ooh, that would be a good one to unpack. Yeah. All right, cool. Put it on the list, man. All right, let's get into more headlines.
All right, so next headline, trigger warning here, and this takes us to France, where a French police officer is being investigated for homicide over the fatal shooting of a 17-year-old boy in a Paris suburb of Nanterre after he failed to comply with an order to stop his car. So the officer fired at the boy, who subsequently died from his wounds, right? This is what the Nanterre prosecutor's officer said on Tuesday, right? A video shared on social media shows two police officers besides the car, which is a Mercedes AMG, one of whom shoots at the driver as he pulls away. Sporadic clashes broke out between youths and police on Tuesday evening as anger over the death of the teenager grew in the local community. Some groups set alight barricades and garbage bins, smashed up a bus stop and threw firecrackers towards police, who responded with tear gas and dispersion grenades. And in that whole thing, 9 people were arrested. After a record 13 deaths from police shootings in France during traffic stops last year, this was the second fatal incident in such circumstances of this year, 2023. 3 people were killed by police gunfire after refusing to comply with a traffic stop in 2021 and 2 in 2020. And yeah, man, it's crazy. Apparently, when they're looking at the tally of the fatal shootings in 2021 and 2022, majority of the victims were, of course, black or Arabic in origin.
It's crazy, man.
Next headline takes us to Sierra Leone, where the incumbent Julius Maada has been declared the winner of Sierra Leone's presidential election, but the opposition has disputed the count. So the official figures gave Mr. Bio 56% of the vote, and his main rival, Samara Kamara, trailed far behind with 41%. After the first tranche of results were released on Monday, Dr. Kamara called the outcome a daylight robbery. International election observers have highlighted problems with transparency in the tallying process. But Saturday's vote took place amid tension, but the president had called on Sierra Leoneans to keep the peace. 59-year-old, who's a former soldier, is due to be sworn in for his second and final 5-year term soon.
It is a good thing for the Sierra Leone people?
I don't know, I don't know how good he is as a thingy.
Okay.
So yeah, the retired army brigadier took part in a military coup during the country's civil war in 1992, only to overthrow the military junta itself in 1996 and then pave the way for free elections that year. So scenes of celebrations have been reported in the capital, Freetown, with Mr. Bio's supporters hoisting his banner and marching across the wet streets of the city. The rivalry between him and Dr. Kamara, who's 72, was a repeat of the closely fought 2018 election, which went to a second round. But this time, Dr. Kamara, who's a candidate for the APC, which the All People's Congress, has alleged that his electoral agents were not allowed to verify the ballot counting. And in the run-up to the vote, the APC also made complaints about the Electoral Commission, which we spoke about yesterday and Monday. However, the Commission insisted that it had the mechanisms in place to ensure a fair vote. And the last headline takes us to China, where basically we know the situation but obviously this is Pride Month, innit, right? But basically celebrations all around the world is happening, but there are no major LGBT events in China. So the country's largest Pride event had been suspended since 2021. And the organizer, which is a group called Shanghai Pride, they did not give a reason for the move, but they said at the time that it was cancelling all upcoming activities and taking a break from scheduling any future events. People taking part in political protests in China often face punishment. So instead of holding parades, Shanghai Pride had organized dance parties, community runs, and film screenings in the city. Now, only a few low-profile events are available for the LGBT communities, such as voguing balls, where dancers execute moves inspired by model poses and stuff. And Shanghai Pride is not the only major LGBT group to cease operations, but in recent years, several others have had to shut down, raising fears of a crackdown on activism in the world's second-largest economy. And that's it for the headlines.
All right, let's get into People's
Yeah.
Journal.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal. I'll give you the news from an economics point of view. I don't have much to talk about at all today. But basically, just wanted to mention how the Chancellor has called in the country's main consumer watchdogs for talks as part of efforts to help curb the whole inflation issue that obviously we've been facing for the past couple of years now. I don't know how all of that's going to basically work, but pretty much what he's planning to do is question all the regulators of like energy, so Ofgem, water, Ofwat, telecoms, Ofcom, all them watchdogs there, and basically see how obviously these powers can actually come together and come with some ideas to help lower prices. Obviously, yesterday we were talking about supermarkets and how all the executives from Asda, Morrison's, Sainsbury's, and there's another one, are coming together and they're going to be questioned by the government about why there's that disparity between the wholesale prices that they're getting the goods at and the prices they're charging everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, inflation's kind of tapering off a bit, but the prices seem to still be going up. You know what I'm saying? Every now and again, anyway. And yeah, people are wondering why that is and stuff like that. Also, the government has begun drawing up contingency plans, right, for the collapse of Thames Water. And growing doubts, amid growing doubts in Whitehall about the ability for them to actually service its debt, right? So this is something that I need to look into more, right? But according to Sky News, what they're saying is that the ministers and Ofwat, the same watchdog for the water and stuff, right? The regulator in that particular industry, have started to hold discussions about the possibility that of placing Thames Water into a special administration regime that would effectively take the company into temporary public ownership. So I don't know how bad that debt is. What they're saying is 14 billion is worth 14 billion pounds, but I'm not too sure how that actually materializes to us and how it kind of affects us and stuff like this. But basically, a similar type of process occurred earlier on, like I think in 2021, when the government was trying to sort out the situation with Bulb. You know Bulb, the energy supplier? I think they got bought by, what's it called? It's not Opta something. I can't remember what they're called. Begins with O, I think. Anyway, they collapsed in 2021, right? And basically, obviously a lot of the time when these big energy companies or big banks or whatever it may be are in situations, the government tries to bail them out in it. So this is a similar situation where they're trying to come together and actually think of how we can help with the whole Thames Water issue as well. And the last thing I want to mention is the same thing I'm mentioning again for the past month or so, and it ends today. This is the scheme for set up by Channel 4 and Lloyds Bank, aimed at helping 5 black businesses with TV advertisements and actually the production of a TV advert worth £100,000 each. So again, it ends today at 4 p.m. If you know a black business, if you own one, you want to support one, if it's a good initiative for them that they can benefit from, let them know, let them get their applications in ASAP. And yeah, man, hopefully the best ones actually get a platform and they can push their businesses further, man. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, then let's get into our last set of headlines.
All right, so this last set of headlines, the first one takes us to the Hajj. Basically, for those who don't know, the Hajj is basically one of the world's largest religious gatherings, and that basically has attracted more than 1.8 million visitors so far, right? So Muslim pilgrims in Mecca circled the Kaaba, which is Islam's holiest site, and then converged on a vast tent camp in the nearby desert, officially opening the annual Hajj pilgrimage, right? Returning to its maximum capacity for the first time since the whole coronavirus pandemic. So far, more than 1.8 million pilgrims from all over the world have already amassed in and around Mecca for the Hajj, and the number was still growing as more pilgrims from inside Saudi Arabia joined. Right, authorities say that they expect this year to approach the pre-COVID levels of more than 2 million. An Egyptian businessman by the name of Yahya Al-Gaman said that he was at a loss for words to describe his feeling upon arriving at Mina, which is one of the biggest tent camps in the world outside of Mecca, where the pilgrims pretty much stay for much of the Hajj. And this guy was obviously just expressing how happy he is that these big numbers have kind of returned, for Hajj pretty much. Second headline takes us to Israel. Well, it's about Israel, or rather about the Prime Minister. And basically, Hollywood producer by the name of Arnon Milchan is an Israeli billionaire who now lives in the UK, right? And he's conceded that his gifts of pink champagne and cigars to the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, and his wife may have been excessive. So currently, he's basically a key witness for prosecutors trying to prove charges of fraud and a breach of trust in one of the 3 cases against Mr. Netanyahu that have cast a long shadow over Israeli politics. The Prime Minister also faces charges of fraud, breach of trust, and bribery as well in connection with the 2 other cases. He denies, obviously, doing anything wrong and claims that this is just a political witch hunt. But this same guy, Mr. Milchan, who is a billionaire and also a Hollywood producer, his film credits include Pretty Woman, Bohemian Rhapsody, 12 Years a Slave. This is the same guy, right? Is appearing before a remote session of the Israeli court in Brighton at his request, Brighton, UK, right? So his evidence has brought colourful anti-Netanyahu process to the English seaside city close to where he lives now, which is providing an unexpected diversion for holiday makers. So they're basically asking him about his part in certain things. They asked him about his services to Israel's security as well, behind closed doors. And it's understood that he, the same guy, may have made a big chunk of his money back in the day as an arms dealer, right? And they're saying he also worked with the Israeli intelligence since the 1960s, procuring weapons and stuff. And the last headline, trigger warning here, and this is a bit of a crazy one here. Tell me what you think about this, right? Basically, the BBC has found out that paedophiles are using AI technology to create and sell lifelike child sex abuse material. So some are basically accessing the images by paying subscriptions to accounts on mainstream content sharing sites such as Patreon, you know. Patreon, obviously, they've said they've got a zero tolerance policy about such imagery on its site, so they're obviously going to crack down on all that type of nonsense, right? But the National Police Chiefs Council said it was outrageous and that some platforms were making huge profits, but not taking moral responsibility. The makers of the abuse images are using AI software called Stable Diffusion, which was intended to generate images for use in art and graphic design and that type of stuff. Well, obviously, these animals out there using it for their stuff. For those who obviously don't know, AI enables computers to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. But this Stable Diffusion software allows users to describe using word prompts any image they want, and the program basically then creates this image, right? So the BBC has pretty much found out that it's being used to create lifelike images of child sexual abuse. The next thing, I don't even want to mention it, but basically it's rape of thingy, yeah. But this is what they're doing out there, man. So the UK police online child abuse investigation teams are saying that they're already encountering some of this content here. You know what I'm saying? And I guess they're obviously going to be trying to get it out of there.
It's horrible, man. I don't even know what to say about that, man.
Mm-hmm. And that's it.
All right, cool. Let's get into... I told you it was going to be... I told you it was going to be mystery in the making, bro. Let's get into our sports headlines, man. Let's get into the reaction. All right, so late last night, David Ornstein broke some news that Arteta's moving sneaky. He's trying to do late night bids when Pep's sleeping. What I'm trying to say, who bids so late at night? Who bids for players so late at night? I don't understand what he's doing.
Them people who don't go to sleep.
Them people that don't go to sleep, innit? I told you already, I swear I've said this, I don't think... That Elia local girl went on TalkSport talking absolute nonsense and they deleted that thing, because even if it is true what she's saying, it is crazy that she conveyed that in public. Like, it's mental what she was talking about. Oh, I do that all the time. I phone my brother and told him to bid for a man. I'm sorry, I'm not elaborating if you don't know what I'm talking about, yeah, but I can't bother. She's crazy. You get me? But though, yeah.
She basically suggested that Man City bid on Arsenal's behalf.
Basically, yeah.
Which makes no sense.
To make Pep Arteta phoned up Pep.
Yeah, and tell the Arsenal
Pep.
board, come on.
No,
let's
Pep,
make
I
it.
beg you bid for Killy so these lot can fix their act up kind of thing.
Wow.
But you know what? I'm not saying it's true, but that ain't a serious bid. Their bid shouldn't have got rejected if they're serious. And I know the structure's different. They West Ham rejected 90 from Arsenal. So why are you offering them 90 for? Like, and I understand you structure it different. You're probably can do it in 2 payments and the add-ons are more achievable, whatever. I get that. But you saw them reject the 90. Why would you do that? Like that was childish. So once I saw that, I was like, you ain't serious. They all would have had conversations by now. The stuff that's coming out is that Declan is favouring Arsenal as well. So why are you leaving it to chance for if you're serious? That don't make no sense to me. You feel me? This Arsenal bid that came out last night, which is what, 100 with a add-on of 5? That sounds like it gets it done to me. I don't know why this morning we haven't heard that they've accepted the bid. I don't know what they're waiting for.
No, they said that they've rejected it, but not out of hand. They
1 second. Last night's bid's been rejected.
yes, that's the
That
latest
third
news.
one.
That's the latest news, but
Oh.
not out of hand. It's the structure of the payment. No,
So they're cool with the fee, just the structure they give them. They said no
yeah, it's how much is they getting
per year
from-
and that.
Yeah. But
So,
they're
so the
confident
105 will get it done.
they're confident that they will be able to.
So
basically-
if City double black now, match that bid with a better structure, then what?
But what Ornstein has come out to say, is it Ornstein? No, it's somebody else close to the story, is that everybody knows where Declan wants to go. It's Arsenal.
Yeah.
So now that's out there, you could do whatever you want to do. You
Don't
shook
give that
your
to
hand.
Ornstein. I said that here. I had done that.
No, no, it's not Ornstein. It's not Ornstein.
No, I'm just saying, don't give it to anybody else. I had done it
But
here.
yeah, you did. Congratulations. Congratulations. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
So I do believe today, we're gonna see a bit more news about that. Whether it's they've changed their structure and West Ham is fine with it and it's secure. Or if you suggest that Man City is gonna go wild and say, "All right, cool, bam," and it's the structure's different. But there's gonna be some news today. Something gonna happen today.
all right, cool. Have you seen the news going around about the United stuff? That like all the lawyers and the higher ups and the professionals and the word that's coming
Found
out.
more money.
Huh?
They found more money.
No, not necessarily found more money, but they've got money. But basically, they're not going to do any buy-ins and sellings or any comings and goings or announce any until after the 30th of June because of the financial year
Okay.
and stuff and all these whatever. So
So
that's
it's just around the corner.
yeah. So that's why you ain't heard nothing. But
Okay.
apparently, after the 30th of June,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
on
good,
it's
man.
on go.
That's good.
We'll see. What we've got else here, other rumours. Crystal Palace are keen to add to their attacking options. They're interested in Everton's forward Damari Gray and former Tottenham loanee Arnett Damjuma. Carlos Ancelotti has resolved his legal dispute with Everton over a 2 million bonus payout. Yep, he said he's resolved it. I don't know how he resolved it. Maybe he's getting his payout. Bayern putting an offer for Harry Kane. I don't think it was an official bid. I think it was a verbal bid. 60 plus add-ons for Harry, which is mental. You got Chelsea over there rejecting 55 for Mason. You get what I'm trying to say? That I don't even understand why you would do that. I don't think he would go over Germany either. You get me? He just doesn't seem like it. And while that record's just in touching distance, he might as well take it. Because in my mind, I'm saying he might not leave the league with nothing apart from that goal record. You get what I'm saying? So he's got to go for it. So yeah. What's the story saying? City's 90 million bid rejected. Well, we know that. We spoke about that briefly. But yeah, they did reject City's second bid. So I don't need to go into all of that. Stormzy and Zaha by AFC Croydon Athletic. Come on. A 3-person consortium comprised of Wilfred Zaha, Stormzy and Danny Young have exchanged contracts with the existing ownership of AFC Croydon Athletic to acquire the assets of the club. The consortium will own, operate and develop their childhood hometown football club. Whilst competition is subject to legislative and governance procedures, the 3 consortium members are excited about developing a community asset in the borough that gave them their own opportunities. They hope to take the entire community on this exciting journey with them. That's lit, man. Big them up. And in our last piece of sports news, the ICEC reports find English cricket is deep rooted in racism, sexism, and classism.
Is it?
English cricket. Sorry, people. English cricket is deep rooted with widespread institutional racism, sexism, and class-based discrimination, a report has found. The England and Wales Cricket Board issued an unreserved apology for the failings highlighted in the report and to the victims of discrimination in cricket, and will work over the next 3 months on a package of reforms based on the 44 recommendations within the report. The ECB must commit to being an anti-racist, anti-sexist and anti-classist organisation and encourage all other cricketing organisations to do the same. Within the next 6 months, it must put in place mandatory specialist high-quality training to support the development of racial literacy amongst its leadership and the most senior leadership of the wider game. Within the next 12 months, it must undertake an in-depth examination of the decline of cricket in black communities in England and Wales and develop a targeted action plan to reserve that decline. The ECB must increase at pace the levels of investment in the core infrastructure and operations of the women's and girls' game. There must also be a fundamental overhaul of the professional women's players' pay structure with equal pay at domestic level by 2029 and at the international level by 2030. And that is the end of our sports news.
What do you think about Madison to Spurs?
Oh, yeah, shit. I like it and I don't like it. Because I like Madison. I think he's a quality player. I think he's good for Spurs. I think he's better than them. I would prefer to see him somewhere else. But it'll be good for them and he's good. And even so, because he could, especially if Harry Kane stays, yeah, he can bad it up and have a crazy season and double his money and go next year. No, facts.
100% this would not be his final rest of place.
No, it's not gonna be his final rest of the place. But I'm saying he don't have to be stuck there. He could do a madness and go for 80, 90 next year. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's not too bad. So it's good. I'm glad he's back in the league. I would have preferred him with a better team. I think, just for my own personal reasons, I would have preferred him with a better team. But I'm good he's here. I think he's good for them. Good money. More power to them, man. More power to them. Anybody else? Anything else we're missing?
No.
All right, cool. Let's get into Done It here.
We talked about Tonali the other day, innit?
Yeah, we spoke about Tonali, I'm sure. Cool. Livermento's gone there. Livermento's good. Even though he's been injured, Livermento's good. That's a good one for the future. What are we doing today's Done It here? Which one are we going to use? All right, in the keeping of the show, let's just be quick. Go to number 4, Brent.
All right.
And just
Number 4. What?
Yep.
Oh, okay. You changed that. Hold on. All right, cool.
Yeah, let's just go to number 4.
Got it.
Fuck it. Because someone sent this to me yesterday. Christy tagged me in it, actually.
Is that Christy in there?
Christy in the video. Yep, it's Christy in the video. So naturally, this got sent to me. Alright, what was that, Brent? Or muted it at least. So naturally, that got sent to me, and someone was like, "This." Christy was like, "This should be a candidate for Done It here." And I looked at it, and I thought, "Why? What's wrong with twerking? You know, I love all that shit." You know what I'm saying? So naturally, I started going through the women to decide which one I would chop. Because that's just how your brain works. You get what I'm trying to say? You put it into order. You get what I'm trying to say? You just think who's got the worst, who's got the best. You get me? Naturally, I was drawn to Baby in the grey shorts. So, it's thick. You get what I'm trying to say? So I was looking, thinking, I don't see the problem. And then I was like, hold on a damn minute. You get me? I was like, wait 1 second. I was looking at the scenery and thing, and then I heard them say this one's for the ancestors and all that. Then it hit me. Then I was shocked and appalled. I was like, oh my God, this is what's going on here. You know what it is, yeah? How could they do this, Brent?
Liberty.
How could they not understand, yeah, that this is not like this ain't it? Like, why are you doing this for? Like, this is like, bro, the ancestors wept. The ancestors were weeping, bro. They were like, do you not understand? Sacred ground. What are you not doing?
Damn shame, man.
This is crazy to me. This is, yeah, I was speechless because, like, I get it. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get what you're trying to do, but I don't know why they went with this verse. You know?
Damn shame. It's a damn shame. This is why nobody takes us serious.
Is that what it is?
100%. Well, why would you think it's okay to go to this place
And do that?
and do this? Millions of people would have passed through there, never ever saw Ghana again,
Ever.
died, went through the gates of no return, and you went there giggling, shaking bum, talking about this is for them. Okay. Nice job. It makes me sick, man. These people are insane. These people are insane. I've had enough of them, man. I've had enough.
I said, not the ancestors. Oh, man. Oh, ladies, man. Ladies. And not all ladies, just these 4 here. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not gonna kill everyone. But yous 4. Yous are done it here, man. Yous are gotta be better than this, man. 100%. I don't know, man. You want to be on the right side of history. This is how it went down. I don't know.
Fanan is saying that he disagrees with you guys. He's like, it's a dance, right?
Yeah.
He said it. You guys got a problem with where the dance was being done, which is pretty obvious. You've articulated that, right? But yeah, I'm trying to find it hard to understand
What he's saying?
Yeah. He said he's gonna play devil's advocate, but I don't know. Can we do that?
Time.
I can't do it.
Can we? You're able to do it sometimes. Can you reach
Devil's
into
advocate.
the dark abyss and pluck something out?
Why is it trivial? Why is it trivial? Why is nothing?
Can we spin this? Because if we can, then
Nah,
maybe that's
man.
what they were thinking.
Bro, that's nothing. Is that what they flew there for, bro? Like, I don't know. If you can do it.
Maybe he's saying it's a dance, a celebratory dance,
Yeah.
acknowledging the challenges that they basically went through and the fact that it is this particular landmark is still up, kind of immortalizing everything. It's a celebration that they can now be there in the same place where their ancestors were shackled and killed, and they are now twerking on the grave.
Nah, man. That was like that's like the origin story. That's like the slavery genesis. That's like, brother. I can't. There's nothing. Sorry, we could try,
No?
but I can't. No, I can't see it. I can't see it. That is disgusting. I'm appalled. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Sorry for that, man. I don't know. I hear you though. You get me. Each to their own. But today, they are done at here. That is it.
100%.
That is it. Let's get into our outro.
Oh,
people.
sorry, Fernand, did I ask the wrong question? What was the question that
Wait,
you asked?
what did you say?
He said I was asking the wrong question. I said, as in, is it twerking specifically or just dancing in general is the question.
I don't know,
So
but
you're saying if they were dancing on that same spot as opposed to twerking, would we see it differently?
If they were dancing, there's dances that have certain meanings, right? So if they came together choreographed dance. It was inspired by the culture, by the people there, almost like a tribute to the people that passed away. Fine, you know what I mean? None of us are idiots. We would accept that. But you're twerking. All you came there to do just shake bum and think it was a joke. This was DLT over there. That's what it was. It's a joke. I don't even know why it's a question.
You know how, well, I don't want to basically join this devil. Enjoy the application. But you know how we normally say that whining and stuff in carnival is all good because it's just part of culture, right? It shouldn't be looked at sexually. Are we looking at this twerking as a sexual movement of the bum bum?
This is what I was saying last time. I don't agree with the whole it's just dancing. No, that's bollocks. That's bollocks. There's a reason why the girl in the shorts was holding up her bum as well.
Okay.
Both hands.
Okay.
Bent over a bit more.
But it was heavy, so she needs assistance.
Maybe it was because it was heavy. You know what I'm saying? And the one in the orange. You know what I'm saying? I heard.
Is that the one you liked?
No, remember, my words. I heard she was doing something different. You know what I'm saying? It's a joke. It's a joke. All of them went there to just show bum, laugh, giggle.
There's a time and a place for everything, man.
There's.
If you're looking at that and can't understand that that's distasteful, then I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If you went to a cemetery and went to go and pay respects to someone that was dead, and you just went there and you posted a picture and wanted to do something or whatever, that's cool. If you all went around the grave and you was twerking on your heads and thinking that, wouldn't you look at it and be like,
Exactly.
what are you not doing?
Exactly.
Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Is that cooler? Sorry.
Good morning, Sally.
Good. How's everyone today?
Everyone is
King.
blessed and highly favored. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well.
Thank God.
I've just video and it's a bit crazy because wait, I want to ask a question. Have anyone been to that castle before?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
want
So
to go
when
there
you
now.
get there, you
I
go
want to
through
go
the
there
tour. Yeah, you're ridiculous. Yeah, when you get there, you do the tour and they take you through the castle. They take you literally through the room, the room of no return and all that kind of stuff. And it's actually like when I was there, I've been there twice. When I was both times, I felt like I couldn't even talk.
Yeah.
Because you're actually passing the shackles that these people were tied up in, and it's just crazy to think that these people, whilst they were in this state of mind, they've walked through the door of no return, they've seen these things, and then at the end, they're taken to the room, and their next thought is, what should we do? Let's shake our bums. When they've just heard about how hundreds of thousands of their own people have been dragged through this building and were seen again.
Yeah.
That is crazy. This is crazy. This is very interesting. It's a big insight that people think or the lack of thinking people have.
It's crazy.
That's
Thank you for saying that, because you know what the thing is here. I just thought Cape Coast Castle, that's enough. But he's 100% right. When you go there, you get the tour. So these lot would have had the tour. They would have gone through the rooms where the master was. They would have seen the blood.
At the end of the tour.
Say again?
You get taken to the roof at the end of the tour.
Yeah.
So this is all...
Exactly. It's all part of it. So you would have seen everything. Like the remains of like the feces, the blood, still there. Everything.
And the rooms, or they haven't been used in how many hundred years.
Yeah.
When you are in the room, you can smell it. It smells disgusting. This has lingered.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was where their brain to.
Yeah.
Let's record and shake our bum. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, not in his name. Not in his name.
In his name, yeah. All right, thanks, Sally, man.
Yeah,
Thanks, Sally,
thank you very
man.
much for that, man.
But yeah, everyone have a fantastic one.
You too, brother.
too,
Let's
man.
go all.
It's extremely distasteful, man. Let's get into our outro, please. I remember I said I was making an announcement. I see someone said that they put it in the group, so I thought he was making an announcement. You missed the announcement. It was at the beginning. The announcement was the show is going to be quick. The show's going to be short and sharp. I'm a man of my word.
You're lucky you even caught him saying this now.
You get what I'm trying to say? Also, look, remember I got the dance on the weekend, Saturday. Yeah. Go on my socials and click the link in my bio and go and buy tickets. I never thought I'd be saying this, but I need more man them.
Oh, serious?
Huh?
Serious?
You know women turn up and turn out. You know what I'm trying to say? Women turn up and turn out. There's going to be a trailer load of gal in there. So I just need the man them to pull up. You know what I'm trying to say? All kinds of gal. Yeah. Black. I got snow bunnies, oriental gal. Everybody. You get me? It's a celebration.
Sloppy tuppies.
Oh,
A man said sloppy toppy. We're going to see the sales, the tickets fly, you know. A man said sloppy toppy now. Oh my God. That is so silly. But yeah, man. Look, make sure you join us, man. We're turning up, man. It's the first of many. You are definitely going to, well, Brent's not going to be there.
I am.
Huh?
What? You said I'm not going to be there?
Yeah.
When I'm on my way to Spotify, I'm going to buy 2 tickets. I'm going to buy 2 tickets. How much are they?
They're cheap, man. Scores.
All right. Good.
20 great British pounds. But yeah, that was a quick show. It was a good show. Thanks for everybody getting involved. Comments was killing me today. Phone lines lit as always. Big up yourself. Never small up your rascal out self. Unless I tell you to. You know that one already.
In fact, I'm going to buy 3. I'm going to give 2 away. How can I give 2 away?
How can you get them away?
Yeah.
We can get them away on TDA.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, cool. We'll just think of something cool. Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna get 2 tickets. But yeah, man. Again, thanks for pulling up. We're gonna be here tomorrow, same time, same place. Ciao, man. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.